You ever watch a show and suddenly realize it's not really about superheroes anymore? That's exactly what's happening right now in The Boys Season 5. Because episodes 1 and 2 don't just start the final chapter, they quietly tell you something deeper. This isn't a battle of strength anymore. It's a battle of control, fear, and identity. And honestly, after that opening, nothing feels safe again. We're thrown straight into chaos with Homelander standing in front of a crowd, still playing God, still controlling the narrative. And for a moment, it almost feels like he's untouchable. But then something cracks. That Flight 37 video, the one we've all been carrying since season 1, finally explodes into the open. And not in some quiet reveal. No, it's blasted in front of everyone. And here's what's genius about it. It doesn't destroy Homelander. It should, but it doesn't. Instead, it exposes something way more terrifying. The world doesn't care about truth anymore. It cares about what's easier to believe. The moment that video drops, you expect panic, outrage, collapse, but instead, it gets dismissed as fake. And just like that, reality becomes optional. That's the real horror of this season. Not Homelander's power, but the fact that he doesn't even need to hide anymore. And that's where you start to notice something different about him. He's not just angry, he's unstable in a new way. For the first time, Homelander isn't just trying to control people, he's questioning whether they've already slipped out of his control. And that fear, that's new. Because when Homelander starts to feel fear, he becomes unpredictable. And episode 1 makes that very clear. He starts talking about banning free speech, killing prisoners just to send a message, turning fear into law. This isn't the Homelander who wanted love. This is a man who has accepted that love is impossible, and fear is the only thing left. And that shift, that's what's going to destroy him. But while all this is happening, there's another story quietly building in the background, Butcher. And this is where things get really interesting. Because if Homelander is becoming more of a monster, Butcher is becoming something worse, something colder, something calculated. We see him reconnect with pieces of his past, even putting his own father out of his misery. And it's not played like a big emotional moment. It's quiet, almost empty. And that tells you everything. Butcher isn't fighting for revenge anymore. He's fighting for completion. There's a difference. Revenge is emotional. Completion is surgical. And now, with the introduction of the supe-killing virus, you start to understand his real plan. This was never about beating Homelander in a fight. It's about ending the entire system. Every supe, every threat, every possibility, gone. And the scary part, he's willing to burn everything to make that happen. Even the people on his own side are starting to feel it. You can see it in Huey, in Kimiko, even in Starlight. There's this growing tension like, are we still the good guys? And that question becomes impossible to ignore after episode 1's biggest moment, A-Train. Because let's be real, nobody expected that to hit as hard as it did. This is the same guy who literally exploded Huey's girlfriend in the first episode of the entire series. And now he dies saving him. Not just saving him, but choosing to stand against Homelander when he could have kept running. And that's the key word, running. A-Train's entire arc has been about running. From consequences, from guilt, from responsibility. But in that final moment, he stops. He faces Homelander, and instead of begging, he laughs. That's powerful because Homelander feeds on fear. But laughter, that breaks him, and you can see it. That moment isn't just A-Train's redemption, it's the beginning of Homelander's psychological collapse, because now he knows something dangerous. People aren't just afraid of him anymore. They're starting to see through him. And when that happens, his entire identity starts to crumble. Now, moving into episode 2, this is where things escalate fast because the show doesn't slow down to mourn A-Train. Instead, it uses his death to push everything forward. We get that fake memorial where Homelander twists the narrative again, blaming Starlight, controlling the story, rewriting reality in real time. But here's the subtle detail most people miss. Homelander actually looks emotional, not in a normal way, but confused. Like he doesn't fully understand why he feels something. And that ties into one of the biggest themes of this season. Homelander doesn't understand himself anymore. And that's why he makes his most dangerous decision yet. He brings back Soldier Boy. Now this is where things get deep, because this isn't just about power, this is about family. Homelander doesn't bring Soldier Boy back just to fight Butcher. He brings him back because he wants something he's never had: approval. And that's tragic because Soldier Boy is the last person who would ever give it to him. Their dynamic is uncomfortable, raw, and honestly kind of disturbing, but it reveals something important. Homelander isn't just a villain. He's a broken son trying to prove himself to a father who will never respect him. And that's why this alliance was always going to fail. Meanwhile, Butcher is moving like a man who's already accepted the end, testing the virus, making impossible decisions, even planning to use it on Soldier Boy. And this is where the show flips expectations again, because you think Soldier Boy is going to be the big threat. But no, he becomes the experiment. And when the virus hits, it's brutal, not just physically, but symbolically. This invincible figure, the past, the old power structure, gets taken down by something invisible, something human-made. And that's the message. Power doesn't fall from strength anymore. It falls from strategy. But here's the twist. Soldier Boy doesn't stay down, and that changes everything. Because now we have three unstable forces: Homelander, losing control; Butcher, losing humanity; Soldier Boy, unpredictable and uncontained. And right in the middle of all of it, the boys, trying to hold on to whatever morality they have left. And that's where the real tension is. Not who wins, but what's left of them when it's over. You see it in small moments. Huey trying to keep Annie grounded, Kimiko choosing to fight instead of run, Mother's Milk quietly letting someone go, proving he's still human. These moments matter because they contrast what Butcher is becoming. And here's a theory a lot of fans are starting to pick up on. Butcher might be the final villain. Not in the traditional sense, but in the way that he's willing to go further than anyone else. The virus, it doesn't just kill supes. It might not be controllable at all. And if that's true, then Butcher isn't saving the world. He's risking ending it. And the scariest part, he knows, and he's doing it anyway. So when you look at episodes 1 and 2 together, this isn't just a setup. This is the show quietly telling you there is no clean ending coming. No hero wins, no perfect justice, just consequences. Homelander is losing his grip on reality. Butcher is losing his grip on morality. And somewhere between them, everything is about to collapse. And if there's one thing this show has always been honest about, it's that when power finally breaks, it doesn't go quietly. It takes everything with it. So yeah, Season 5 didn't just start strong. It started like a warning. And if these first 2 episodes are anything to go by, the ending, it's not going to be what anyone expects. And there you have it. The shocking events of The Boys Season 5, Episodes 1 and 2, set the stage for the ultimate showdown. Homelander's unrelenting power and fear-driven leadership have reached a breaking point, and every misstep, like the A-Train debacle and the leaked flight video, shows cracks in his carefully constructed image. Meanwhile, Butcher and his crew have started taking bold, calculated moves, from rescuing their teammates to preparing the supe-killing virus, proving that they're more determined than ever to take Homelander down.